10th of October every year marks the World Mental Health Day. And this year's event is an opportunity for people and communities to unite behind the theme mental health as a universal human right to improve knowledge, raise awareness, and also get the people to know, to have all the updates. Reports say 1 in 8 people globally are living with mental health conditions, which impacts the physical health, the well being, how they connect with others. And mental health conditions are also affecting an increasing number of adolescents as well as young people. I'm joined now by mental health advocate Aisha Bubah, who joins me from Abuja for more on this development. Thank you for joining us on the news of this hour. So, the issue of mental health seems to have gained some more popularity in recent years. But the amazing thing is how people use it loosely. Is there a metric to understand or perhaps to measure mental health? And how do you know if you have challenges in that area?
Thank you very much. Yes, I agree. Sometimes the word is used loosely and in the wrong context, especially often when describing crime. But mental health is just like physical health. The mental health on its own is a state of well-being, where an individual can cope with life stressors and can contribute meaningfully to their society. Now, when you know that there is a mental illness or there is a mental health condition involved, you would have symptoms. So, just like physical health, mental health also has a variety, a wide range of disorders that could happen. So, there is no one size fit all. You can't just tell someone you have a mental illness and that's it. There are different types. There is depression, there is anxiety, there is post-traumatic stress disorder, there is schizophrenia, there is bipolar disorder. So you exhibit the symptoms. There are some symptoms that would show that there is something going on, and then with detailed assessment carried out by a psychiatrist or a psychologist, then you can know what specifically it is. So some of the general symptoms that could possibly tell you that something is off is maybe the person is not performing as they usually do. Sometimes the person is exhibiting some form of behaviors. For some situations, depending on the type of mental illness, it could be irrational behaviors. It could be the person is withdrawn. It could be feelings of sadness. It could be the person becomes very aggressive, but in only certain types of mental health conditions, not all of them. So generally, you could just tell that this person is not behaving or reacting to situations the way that they normally do. And you cannot attribute it to a physical health reason why they are behaving the way they are behaving. So that's like your warning sign to tell you that maybe you should start to look
Indeed.
at mental health. And then with detailed assessment, you can tell what it is.
So you have set up the what is called the first mental health helpline in Nigeria on the national emergency number 112. How does it work? Who calls that number?
So we are currently only active in Abuja, and the national emergency number has a range of services. It has ambulance, it has road safety, then it has us providing mental health support. So once you dial 112, you get linked to the emergency center in your state, and your credit doesn't go, so it's toll free and it works 24/7. So the minute you call, when you say you want to speak with a counselor, then you get transferred to our desk. Or if the call center agents realize that it could be a mental distress call, then they automatically transfer to our counselor's desk and they respond to the call. And we have people calling from different parts, men, women, young people. We've had adolescents calling, older people, people struggling with different issues, financial crisis, mental health crisis, domestic violence, rape, sexual violence. So that's how it works. So once you're linked to the counselor, then we offer psychological first aid. And if you need to be referred to another place, maybe
All
like
right.
a psychiatric hospital,
Mm.
we then do that.
I don't know what the situation is in Abuja, but it is common sight here in Lagos to see the ranged people on the street, what they call mad people. Can you call this line to help someone who is homeless on the street and who's completely lost his or her mind?
So I would say we don't use the range. Let's say someone who looks like they have a mental health condition. Unfortunately, the mental health service system in Nigeria is not as good as it should be. But normally, when you see someone like that, you should be able to call the emergency center, and maybe an ambulance can be mobilized to pick the person up and then transfer them to a psychiatric hospital. Because in that situation, it's a severe case. It's not something that just a phone call can help the person with. The person needs to be on admission in a hospital. They need to be evaluated. They need to be on treatment. So in an ideal situation, that is what should happen. But in Nigeria's situation currently, that is not what is happening. But hopefully we get there someday.
Aisha Bubah, mental health advocate, thank you for talking to us on the news this hour.